Welcome to Lock It Down Sports. I'm your host, Locke Hoover. You can follow me on Twitter at Lock It Up Media. That's Lock It Up Media on Twitter. You can also follow us at E5280 Sports. That's E5280 Sports. And today on the show is Major League Baseball TV package landscape changing. Are college bowl games going to offer more incentives to play and something new for the Olympics? But first, I want to get into this, and that is Bronny James, as obviously he's entering the NBA draft. Interesting enough, only averaging 4.8 points per game and 2.8 rebounds per game while at Southern Cal. Now, if that doesn't scream going back to college, I don't know what does. But you got to remember this now. He's got the correct last name, and he's LeBron's son, so he will get drafted based on the fact that he's LeBron James' son. Now, this was earlier. It was reported that LeBron would sign with whoever drafted his son. Now, if those early reports are true, it would be appealing to draft Bronny James in, say, the second round to get 2 or 3 years of LeBron James. Heck yeah, you do that. I mean, he still averages 25.7 points per game and 7.3 rebounds per game. And he's LeBron James. And that's not even counting all of the merchandise he's going to bring in, the jersey sales, the crowd sales, all of that. That's not even counting that aspect of it. But just as the pure player, 25.7 points per game and 7.3 rebounds per game. That's still a basketball player. Can still play. And to me, the way teams don't really value second round picks, the way they trade them around, or they trade them and then sign vets or trade them for older vets or NBA vets left and right. I mean, that's really the value that they see, a lot of these clubs see in second round draft picks. Now, interesting enough, Bronny's only worked out for a few teams as his agent has limited his workouts. Now he's come out and said if his name was Charles Jones, he'd still do the exact same thing for his client. Maybe, maybe not. But LeBron's only worked out for just the Lakers and the Suns. And to me, this is crazy because what if those teams don't draft them? Huh? What if they don't draft them? I mean, I know a workout isn't much, but it seems like that is what he's banking on to get drafted. Since he doesn't have a lot of game film, he only played 25 games this year and scored 4.8 points per game. So there aren't a lot of flashes you can see from him. A lot of, he's a scorer. Well, he scored 4.8 points per game. How can you say he's a scorer in college basketball? Not talking about the pros. We're not talking about even the G League. We're talking about college. So my question is, why would you limit that? Because it is less teams that you can impress. Maybe, just maybe, you impress a team at a workout and it's like, know what? He's a fit. We can see the potential in him based on this workout as our second round pick. There might be something there. I mean, you better be able to wow some of these teams if those are the only two teams that you are going to work out for And the Suns only have a first-round pick at 22. And LeBron's not going. I mean, Bronny's not going in the first round unless on that end you get a guarantee that, yeah, LeBron James, I'm signing with the Suns. Then it's a little bit more enticing. And of course, his agent Clutch Sports Group has come out and said LeBron's not signing for the minimum. He's not signing for the minimum for, say, the Suns, so they can draft Bronny and he signs for the minimum. He says that's not going to happen, which I believe him. So now, with that being said, LeBron has come out and said just because his son is drafted by X team doesn't mean he's going to sign with them. Which to me, from LeBron's standpoint, that's crazy to come out and say now, right before the draft, because now I think it makes his son even less attractive. Less incentives to draft Bronny. I mean, we're drafting Bronny so LeBron James would come sign with us and play 2-3 years. But if you come out and said now that you're not signing with us just because you draft your son, why do we want to take a flyer on your son with a second round pick? Huh? That's my question. It hurts him for his son, for LeBron to come out and say that. I mean, Bronny's only coming out because his last name's James and he's LeBron James' son. So don't you think LeBron would do everything he can to try to get his son, Bronny, drafted? I mean, of course, this is all agent talk. A lot of it is, like all agents, especially around the draft. He said workouts are not everything, obviously, like, I've said. And teams love him without seeing him work out. Do they, though? I mean, he said he wants to go to a team that can develop him. Like all agents, I mean, that's what he wants best for his client, of course, the development. Now, my question is, what is college basketball for? Huh? I mean, a perfect example of development. I saw it firsthand all year. Dalton Connect. Junior college kid, 2 years there, 2 years at Northern Colorado. Score. Does he even get drafted? Maybe, maybe not. Goes to Tennessee. Big time development on his defense. Continues to score and develops. And now he's going to be a first round pick, projecting a top 10 pick. That to me is development. That's what development looks like. Now, another one of my questions. If he can't get out on the court in college, how's he going to in the NBA? 4.8 points doesn't make you play a lot. That's not an incentive. College basketball coaches they've got to win, or else they're gone. Same thing with the NBA coaches. They don't win, they're gone. Monty Williams had one season in Detroit. He's on a 5-year deal. He got canned after 1 year. So you got to win. Yeah, the Pistons are bad, but still, after a 1-year deal, you got to go. My other question, with NIL and him being Bronny James, I'm sure he could make a lot more money in college than in the G League, where he'll have time to develop. To me, if he wasn't LeBron's kid, this would be a non-discussion, and he wouldn't even have entered the NBA draft. Played 25 games, 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds per game. Does that scream drafting some kid? If his name was Charles Smith, playing for Southern Cal, does that scream draft pick? And that's my guy. I'd say no, but you get advantages when your last name's James and you're related to LeBron. So it would be poetic if he doesn't even get drafted. He probably will, but it would be kind of chef's kiss to me if he doesn't. But it's a wait and see, and he will get drafted. Should be in the second round. But it'll be fun to watch to see what happens, where he goes, and then what LeBron James does, what his plan is after Bronny gets drafted. What if he went to like the Pistons, who's a terrible basketball team? That'd be kind of funny. Really funny. He'll get time to develop because he'll get to play, right? Bad team, you'll get to play. That's usually how those things work out. But once again, we'll see what happens. Now, another we will see what happens is, could college football bowl games use NIL contracts? As in, we've seen this for the last probably 8 to 10 years now, where kids are sitting out of these bowl games unless it's a playoff game. And we saw that even in big time bowls, like your New Year's Day 6 bowls that aren't playoff games, your Peach Bowl, your Orange Bowl, etc., etc. Players are sitting out because they're going to be drafted high, they hope. But they know, it's crazy. Now, would this stop happening if they got NIL from bowl games to sign them to like one games, like they're one-offs? To me, I think it would change. I think it's a great idea for these bowls to do this. They should. It would enhance. I think on some end it would enhance the product. Their bowl game, offer them one-off contracts. Now, I think players projected in the later rounds should absolutely play, especially if they get paid. So a 5th round draft pick is paid $4.224 million on a 4-year deal. That's a 5th rounder. A 7th round pick is paid $3.933 million on a 4-year deal. Why would a player sit out if it gains them $100,000 to play? Let's just say $100,000, maybe more, and that could be obviously more. That could be $200,000-$300,000. But let's just say conservatively $100,000. I think the risk of getting injured is well worth the reward, especially on that spread between, say, a 5th and a 7th round pick. Now, a projected 2nd or 3rd round pick, now they actually may sit out, depending. So say a 2nd round pick gets $9.9 to $6.3 million on a 4-year deal. 3rd round pick, $6 to $5.5 million on a 4-year deal. So there's some difference there, big time difference there on that end, where I could see them sitting out. But a 5th, 6th, 7th rounder, the difference is not a whole lot. That's just like, I don't think that the difference is that much now. And we've seen this for years too. And especially now, this 12-team playoff has further hurt and is killing these smaller bowls to where no one cares about them. The players don't. The fans sure as heck don't. So how about adding a little bit of money to make the players care a little bit more, even if the fans still don't care about the Cheez-It Bowl? I love the Cheez-Its themselves, the bowl, so not so much. That you can't get me to sit there and watch Northwestern and Colorado square off in the Cheez-Its Bowl. Sorry. You can't. There's no way. Yeah, I might watch maybe a quarter, maybe, depending on what else is on. I mean, if there's a good show on, sorry, I'm watching the show over Northwestern Colorado and Colorado. That's what everyone fans think too. So bowl games, pony up, and pay the kids. It's that simple to potentially enhance your product. Now, talking about enhancing your product, Robert Manford and some owners are at it again, and they're talking about nationalizing TV rights. And I absolutely hate this. Hate this, hate this, hate this. And here's why. Some executives believe it is the best way to grow revenue and sell all 30 teams to one streaming package. And when I read that, I was like, wait a minute, hold up. Let me get a timeout here. Don't we have that already? And lo and behold, we do. It's called MLB TV. It's the exact same concept where, you pay, you get the MLB TV package, and you can watch whoever you want. You can watch the Braves, the Mets, the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Royals, the Rockies. You can watch whoever you want, whatever games you want, except for in your local market, and that's obviously one of the big problems. If MLB lifts the TV local blackouts, that's a Major League Baseball problem as a whole. But that problem would be solved. You have the MLB TV package. It's, like I said, it's already in place. Granted, these teams aren't getting revenue from it. Well, yeah, they're getting a piece, but they're not getting all of it. But that's already in place. So another thing I wouldn't like about it is the fact that you'd have to potentially pay an additional fee in order to watch your team. I don't want to have to buy a package to watch my team, and that cost would be higher because also in that package, you get the Mets, the Marlins, the Dodgers, the Rockies, the Royals, the Twins, etc. I don't want to watch all their games as well. I want to watch my team. I want to watch the Braves, my team. I don't want to have to pay an upfront fee to begin with to watch my team when I already get them on streaming packages and cable, whatever your viewing of choice is. I don't want to buy an additional package because also I'm fine with MLB Network watching those games as well, whether it's Brewers, Orioles. Am I going to watch all that game? No. Am I going to watch a few innings? Yeah, probably. A few innings. Maybe it's in the background, I'm doing something else. But, yeah, I'm not going to sit there and watch all those games. I think another problem with this, from the owner's standpoint, would be how is the money going to be distributed? And that's obviously always a big question. So the Yankees received $143 million from rights fees in 2022. The Rockies, on the other hand, received $57 million. Just a little bit of a discrepancy there, huh? So local media is a large percentage of the revenue for these teams. So Major League Baseball teams receive 21% of its revenue from local media, which is the most out of any pro league. So they rely on their local markets for that revenue. So MLB national revenue receives 25%, teams receive 25%, and seeding revenue receives 32%. Teams that receive more revenue, of course, don't want to share it with those that don't. And I get that, and it makes sense, especially the league owners. I mean, they don't care about the league as a whole. They care about their team, what they receive, what they build, so they can spend more on their own team. Well, hypothetically, they're asked to spend more on their own team, which can be an issue as well. Some of these teams don't spend a lot on their own team, which to me is that's an issue within itself. But I don't see this happening, and I take that back. It might happen, but I don't like it because it's another cost for us if they go to this route. And the way these streaming packages are, it's only getting more and more expensive, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. Now, I saw this, and I thought this was kind of interesting. And obviously, the Olympics are coming up here soon, and there's going to be heart rates monitored. Parents watching their kids, the parents of athletes competing with heart rate monitors, and will display the results on the screen. I read that. I was like, wow, that's kind of funny. That's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting and funny all at the same time. I mean, can you imagine? And to me, like the biggest thing is where you can actually see the results of the back and forth, the parent and the people in the stands. To me, is like the track and field and the swimming, where that's obviously in gymnastics as well. Like the most popular, the most watched, the most televised events where there is some lull there after a heat where you can pan up the crowd or show Katie Ledecky's, parents' heart rate monitor. Now, I'm sure the parents are way more nervous than the kids are. I mean, I don't have kids, but I've heard that statement before, and it's probably true. And you think about it too. I mean, the kid has trained for it for 4+ years, maybe their entire life for the Olympics, and they're ready to go. It's just, you're competing. You're an athlete. It's, here's what I do. Here's how I attack this event. I'm loose. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go, But the parent sits there and watches and just, is nervous and worried way more than the kid. So I think it's kind of funny and kind of neat and interesting all at the same time with this, that the parents have agreed to this. Now, do they get paid for it? I don't know if they get any payment or anything from NBC or just, yeah, sure, why not? I agree. I'll do it. It doesn't bother me one way or the other as a parent. So I don't know how that, I haven't seen any write-ups or reports on that aspect of it, but it's very interesting and it's kind of cool. A different little aspect from the broadcast, a little new nuance that it brings. And so that's fun, and that's what the Olympics are for the viewer. It's fun, enjoyable to watch as a viewer. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Lock It Up Media. That's Lock It Up Media on Twitter. You can follow us at E5280 Sports. That's E5280 Sports. I'll talk to you next week. That'll be next Friday on Lock It Down Sports. Have a good day, everybody.